You know, hatred is a really, really strong word. But for this chap, Mohammed bin Sulayem, head of the FIA, I feel like I can extend special privilege, mitigating circumstances. Why? Because yet again, that dude brings the sport over which he's meant to be safeguarding into bloody disrepute. And I've had enough. Permit scorched earth Cameron for 8 minutes or less, because I don't get why this dude keeps talking. Look, for the avoidance of that, if we're going to set the table, each and every single time I hear that dude talk, he's either talking about some sort of misogyny. Remember, lest we forget, that he was taking pictures to celebrate 5-year anniversary of Bahrain with philanderers and abusers in Prince Andrew and Max Mosley. What are we doing? This is the dude who investigated Toto and Susie Wolf for conflict of interest on hearsay on a publication that can barely call itself a publication. This is the dude who wants to celebrate equality, diversity and inclusion, but all the while he's saying things to the contrary, saying that he doesn't like when women think that they can or will be more intelligent than men. What are we doing, Mohammed bin Sulayem? Persecuting Sir Lewis Hamilton for jewellery gate at each and every single juncture. What are we doing, Mohammed bin Sulayem? And if you didn't have bigger fires to fight, I wouldn't mind. It would be forgivable, of course, but you do, sir. Your regulatory body can't get its SH1T together, never has and never will. Fight those fires then. What's your remit of head of the FIA? To safeguard and to institute the rules and regulations in a way that's consistent across all related parties. So too to level the competitive landscape. Focus therefore on that, Mohammed bin Sulayem. You've got work to do, young sir. But yet and still, this dude wants to do the most. Each and every single time there's a podium, I see him in front and centre trying to Beyonce to the drivers, Kelly Rowland, shaking hands. What are we doing, Mohammed bin Sulayem? This isn't attention-seeking.com. This is F1.com, sir. Lest we forget, he's hired some very important people, all of whom have left his organisation because they don't want to be associated with somebody that so embodies competence. But Mohammed bin Sulayem says, you know what, Cam, I will see you that and raise you this. Today, talking about the expletives that some of the drivers use in the heat of battle. And listen, nobody wants to see that. As a parent of a young human, I don't want my little man to hear the bleeps over the radio. It's not fantastic. The optics aren't good. Not for Formula One as a sport, as an entity that courts sponsors like Rolex, these upper echelon ones. It makes sense. It is a bad look, but yet and still we understand that it's the highest level of sport. These guys and girls, both drivers and engineers, pit crew, go out there every single race weekend and risk their lives in earnest. You can die on an F1 circuit. It's happened before, and sadly for all watchers, community, drivers, engineers, rest assured it will happen again. So you can forgive then a cheeky expletive from time to time as these guys race around in these cars at 200 miles per hour. Surely you can forgive it. And if not forgive, you can understand. Oh no, not Mohammed bin Sulayem. He spoke to motorsport.com today and he said this. Again, doing his best for equality and cohesiveness within the community. And again, a community of F1 fan base that come from all different backgrounds, colours and creeds, that like all different types of music and eat all different types of food. Here's what he had to say. Remember, we race as one, yeah? This is the thing that this is the phrase that they tried to trot out. Here's what Mohammed bin Sulayem had to say in his latest nonsense of a titbit. There's a difference between our sport, motorsport, and rap music. In an extensive interview with motorsport.com, he says, we're not rappers. How many times a minute do they use the F word? It's not that many times with us, but that's them and we're us. He's indicated that he doesn't want it to get that far. Go on then, Mohammed bin Sulayem. What are you talking about? Them and us. Rappers. You couldn't use any other signifiers to articulate your point, Mohammed bin Sulayem. This is outrageous. Divide and conquer any. Like, this is bonkers. We're not rappers. I just don't understand this dude and his verbiage. Every single time he opens his mouth with a view to make a solid point, he articulates it in a way that does nothing if not divide the community. And again, for the evidence of that, a community that spreads across the world. Difference. You, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, and the FOM, Liberty Media, said we racers won. So then how comes MBS, every single word that comes out your mouth stands in diametric opposition to what you're talking about? You are dividing and conquering, sir. We're not rappers. You couldn't use any other words to make the point. We don't want our driver to swear a lot. We're not rappers. This dude's an absolute clown, honestly. And I think it's a problem. I know that the F1 teams don't want to rattle the boat. They don't want to rock the boat even. They don't want to oust Mohammed Ben Sulayem before he serves his tenure. Again, remember, December 2025 is the end of his term and they're keen for him to see it out. But at this point, the dude's rap sheet, no pun intended, is as long as my arm. Indiscretions coming out of his ears. What are we doing having that dude still in his position as head of the FIA? This makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to be honest with you. You'll forgive me for going scorched earth each and every single time at MBS, but one cannot help it at this point. We're not rappers. What are you talking about? Conflict of interest on Susie Wolf without any evidence. What are you doing, MBS? Taking pictures with bloody Prince Andrew and Max Mosley and using that to celebrate F1. Do you not understand the insinuation? Do you not understand the deep, seedy undertones of posting that picture then? What are we doing? Jewelry gate each and every single bloody time. Every time that dude opens up his mouth, he's got something to say that brings the sport into disrepute, overstepping his remit yet again when there were suitors, potential purchasers of the one that F's swirling around. What did Mohammed bin Sulayem have to say then? Oh, you know what? Yeah, they've overvalued the sport. What? A, it's not within your remit, Mohammed bin Sulayem. You are not the commercial arm. You are the regulatory arm. And B, even if it were, surely you're working in tandem. You are a procurer of services as far as the FIA is concerned. Of F1, you provide a service to the one that F's. So why, by virtue of your words, would you look to sabotage the one that F's as a sporting endeavour each and every single time? This, ladies and gentlemen, makes no mistakes. It's baffling. Can't even get my words out, so furious I am with this chap. Each and every single time he opens up his mouth, it's something he says to sabotage the one that F's. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I've had enough of this fella. And if it indeed F1 wants to take itself as a sport seriously in the medium to short term, then this dude needs ousting. I get the F1 teams and related parties, Liberty Media, the FOM. What they do not want to do is make a scene. And of course, that's what you're doing if you oust him before his tenure is up. However, what options do they leave him at this point? So long and extensive, broad and deep is this dude's linguistic rap sheet. Every time he opens up his mouth, he can't seem to get out of his own way, and much more importantly, he can't seem to get out of F1's way. And that's the most pertinent point here. What are we doing?